Verstappen gets into a huge argument with FIA, Ferrari shuts down all rumors, and McLaren bring a massive upgrade. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Recently, Ted Kravitz opened up about his interview with Verstappen, which was anything but smooth. It's not uncommon in F1 for interviews to become a bit heated, but this one seemed to stir up quite a bit of tension. Kravitz reflected on the experience, admitting that he might have approached things differently. So, what was the main topic that sparked this memorable conversation? Kravitz didn't shy away from asking about Verstappen's controversial clash with Mercedes driver George Russell during the last race in Barcelona. This incident, where Verstappen found himself facing a 10-second time penalty and 3 penalty points on his license, was clearly weighing heavily on the minds of both Kravitz and Verstappen. As you may recall, during the race in Barcelona, Verstappen was involved in a dramatic sequence of events. After an attempted overtake by Russell, Verstappen had to make a split-second decision, eventually leading to a collision that resulted in him being penalized. However, the conversation put Kravitz in a tight spot as he questioned Verstappen about how the team has been handling such situations, especially given the recent penalties' implications for the 4-time world champion. Kravitz pointedly asked Verstappen about the involvement of Steven Knowles, Red Bull's head of sporting regulations, implying that the team may have made some miscalculations during the race. This comment, however, did not sit well with Verstappen, who felt that Kravitz was trying to place blame on a specific individual rather than acknowledging the team dynamic at play. In a back-and-forth exchange, Verstappen insisted that it's unfair to single out one person when, in reality, the entire team needs to collaborate to improve their performance. Kravitz clarified that he wasn't trying to accuse Knowles, but was merely identifying changes within the team since Jonathan Wheatley moved on. Conflicts like this during interviews are definitely not rare in sports, where emotions can run high, and this interaction was a prime example. As the conversation progressed, Verstappen maintained his stance, stating that they analyze every situation as a team, learning and adapting as they go. Despite the prickly nature of the interview, he ultimately turned the conversation back to teamwork, steering away from discussing individual accountability in front of the cameras. He reinforced that while they can learn from past incidents, they must approach it collectively rather than placing blame. Kravitz, clearly trying to steer the discussion in a different direction, had to navigate the tension carefully. He wanted to ensure that the focus remained on continuous improvement for the team rather than on assigning fault. It's a delicate balance to strike in interview scenarios, especially with someone as passionate as Verstappen. Ultimately, this encounter showcases the struggles journalists face when probing athletes about sensitive topics. It reminds us that behind the high-speed action on the track, there are complex dynamics at play, not just within the teams but during media interactions as well. As the Canadian Grand Prix approaches, all eyes will be on how Verstappen and his team respond to these challenges. Stay tuned as we continue to bring you the latest updates and discussions from the world of F1. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more F1 insights. With tensions simmering in the world of Formula One, Sky F1's Ted Kravitz recently found himself in the spotlight after a heated interview with Max Verstappen. After Verstappen took issue with some of Kravitz's questions regarding team communication, he explained his side on Sky's notebook, clarifying that his intent was never to single out any individual. Kravitz pointed out that he aimed to talk about improving team dialogue, especially after a mixed message led to confusion during a race with George Russell. Unfortunately, Verstappen interpreted the question differently, feeling it unfair to highlight a specific team member. Kravitz was determined to keep the conversation fair, stating, "I'm just not here to say it was Steven Knowles, wasn't it? Let's blame him." Tensions between Red Bull and Sky are not new. In late 2022, Red Bull withdrew media access from several Sky outlets, claiming the coverage was unbalanced. This fallout stemmed from Kravitz's comments about the 2021 World Championship, referring to it as a scenario where Lewis Hamilton was robbed in the Abu Dhabi finale. Red Bull's Christian Horner expressed dissatisfaction, indicating that such remarks were neither fair nor impartial. Verstappen was particularly upset, calling for mutual respect and clarifying that ongoing disrespect from media was unacceptable. However, peace was brokered when Sky representatives visited Red Bull for discussions prior to the Brazilian Grand Prix. Verstappen later stated they had moved past the issue. In more recent events, Verstappen is just one penalty point away from a race ban, prompting pundit Martin Brundle to suggest that other drivers might want to bait him into incurring that point. Recently, during practice sessions for the Canadian Grand Prix, Verstappen set the fastest lap, while teammate Charles Leclerc had a more challenging outing, crashing his Ferrari. With the Canadian Grand Prix weekend in full swing, it's shaping up to be an intriguing race. Will Verstappen maintain his edge, or will he face repercussions for his actions on the track? Stay tuned for all the highlights and surprises as the race unfolds. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all things F1. As the teams prepare for the Montreal round, McLaren has declared an array of changes to its car, specifically targeting improvements in their performance. These upgrades signal a strong commitment from McLaren to refine their competitive edge. So, what exactly are these upgrades? McLaren has made comprehensive revisions to its front wing, rear wing, and front suspension of the MCL39. These changes focus on enhancing aerodynamic performance along with mechanical setup, aiming to fine-tune the car's handling and speed around the circuit. Let's break it down a little further. The front wing features a new geometry designed to enhance flow conditioning. This means they've introduced revised main elements along with innovative mermaid tails at the end plates. Together, these changes boost aerodynamic efficiency, which is crucial when it comes to competing at high speeds. To bolster these enhancements, McLaren has also tweaked its front suspension. The suspension now showcases a minor geometry change that aligns with the new front wing design. This tweak is aimed at optimizing local flow conditioning, ensuring that the car performs as intended across a range of driving scenarios. Interestingly, these significant updates come just 2 weeks after the Spanish Grand Prix, where McLaren did not declare any modifications at all, despite a push for a stiffer front wing amid new technical directives. This shows that McLaren has strategically planned their upgrades for maximum impact at the Canadian GP. It's important to note that when teams announce their updates, they must report any significant aerodynamic changes to the FIA. McLaren's carbon fiber strengthening, while crucial, was structural and not aerodynamic, which is why it didn't feature in previous reports. Additionally, to complement their front wing adjustments, McLaren has introduced a medium downforce rear wing. This new wing design is optimized for performance over a wider drag range, offering the versatility necessary for various circuits throughout the championship. With these upgrades, McLaren is positioning itself favorably against its competitors, notably Red Bull and Ferrari, who have opted for a more conservative approach this weekend. As the race approaches, all eyes will be on McLaren to see how effectively these changes translate to on-track performance. Stay tuned for more updates as the Canadian GP unfolds. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest news and insights from the world of Formula One. As we move into the Canadian Grand Prix, McLaren is at the forefront, showcasing the most significant updates among the top teams. Interestingly, Ferrari and Red Bull have opted not to declare any changes for this weekend's race, marking a notable shift since the Spanish GP. Mercedes has also brought some modifications to its W16, emphasizing improvements to the car's floor. One notable addition is the new corner design, tailored specifically for this circuit. This update features a larger brake duct inlet and exits, crucial for managing the higher brake demands that come into play at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Furthermore, on the edge of the floor, there are enhancements including a reduced chord on a wing element and optimized vanes. This effectively increases airflow under the car's forward floor, bolstering aerodynamic loading for better performance. Aston Martin isn't left out of the mix either, having introduced a new front brake duct designed with a larger exit. This change will help boost cooling, responding to the specific pressures of the circuit. Over at Alpine, their updated front wing features a reprofiled and shorter flap, allowing for less downforce, ideal for achieving the right balance tailored to this track. Conversely, teams like Haas, Williams, and Sauber have not announced any updates and will be racing with their previous specifications. On the other hand, Racing Bulls has declared two crucial adaptations from their car setup in Spain. The front wing now features a shorter chord on its most rearward flap, effectively lowering the front-end downforce and enhancing the overall aero balance beyond what was possible with the earlier configuration. Additionally, the rear brake drum's lower winglet end plate has been reconfigured to optimize airflow around the tire and diffuser. This alteration is instrumental in improving the consistency and quality of the airflow vortex, leading to enhanced rear downforce. As we gear up for qualifying on Saturday at the Canadian Grand Prix, keep an eye on how these adjustments play out on the track. We'll keep you updated with more insights and analyses as the race weekend progresses. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest details on Formula One. The Canadian Grand Prix kicked off with an unexpected turn of events, as Charles Leclerc, the talented Ferrari driver, found himself in trouble early in practice. Just minutes into the first session at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the red flag was waved following his crash into the barriers. Around 15 minutes into the practice session, Leclerc misjudged his braking at turn 3, carrying too much speed into the corner. This led to him locking up his right front brake. As he attempted to regain control, he skidded across the grass. Unfortunately, he clipped a tire barrier on the left side of his Ferrari, resulting in the session being stopped for a brief recovery period. During the session leading up to the incident, Leclerc had been showcasing his skills, clocking the fastest time with a remarkable 1:13.885 on the soft compound Pirellis. Thankfully, he emerged uninjured and even took to team radio to express his apologies for the mishap. However, he wasn't the only driver facing challenges on the track during the first half hour. Both George Russell from Mercedes and Lando Norris from McLaren encountered grip issues, leading to their own off-track excursions. Kimi Antonelli also had trouble as he locked up heading into turn 5, while Alpine's Franco Colapinto spun at turn 2, and even Leclerc's teammate Lewis Hamilton faced difficulties, spinning at the hairpin. As the session resumed, all eyes were on the teams to see how they would adapt and handle the evolving conditions on the challenging Canadian circuit. With the unpredictable nature of Formula One, this incident serves as a reminder of how quickly things can change on the racetrack, prompting teams to stay vigilant and ready for anything. The spotlight remains on Leclerc and the Ferrari team as they regroup and make the necessary adjustments ahead of the upcoming race. Fans will be watching closely to see if this incident affects their performance and strategy as the Grand Prix weekend unfolds. Stay tuned for updates as we follow the action from this thrilling event. As we dive deeper into the excitement of the Canadian Grand Prix, the spotlight is on Max Verstappen, who dominated the first practice session. His incredible pace seems to set the tone for the weekend, while Charles Leclerc faces a significant setback. Unfortunately, Leclerc crashed his Ferrari into the barriers, raising concerns about his confidence and the team's direction moving forward. Rumors are swirling surrounding Leclerc's future with Ferrari, suggesting that he may feel the pressure to leave the team. Some analysts believe it's a result of weakened confidence stemming from his recent performances. This has left fans questioning whether his heart is still in the race. In contrast, focus within Ferrari appears to be shifting, with calls for the car's development to align more closely with the preferences of Lewis Hamilton rather than Leclerc's. This blunt assessment could have implications for Leclerc, as the team appears committed to making Hamilton the primary focus in their quest for performance. Former F1 champion Nico Rosberg has also weighed in, advising Leclerc to seize the moment before Hamilton re-emerges as a formidable competitor. Hamilton has struggled to keep pace with Leclerc so far this season, and Rosberg's words serve as a reminder of the fierce competition within the team. As we continue to follow this gripping season, there's plenty to look forward to. The qualifying session for the Canadian Grand Prix kicks off soon, and fans are eager to see how these dynamics unfold on the track. For all the latest updates, be sure to follow planetf1.com on WhatsApp and Facebook, as they bring you real-time news and insights from the world of Formula One. So, who will rise to the occasion at this pivotal race? Will Verstappen maintain his edge, or can Leclerc overcome his challenges and reclaim his place as a top contender? Stay tuned as we witness the drama and excitement of the Canadian Grand Prix. Christian Horner, the Red Bull Racing Team principal, has been in the spotlight lately, facing rampant speculation regarding his future in Formula One. Rumors have swirled about potential moves to rival teams like Ferrari and Alpine, but Horner is putting those whispers to rest. In the lead-up to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, headlines indicated that Horner might be on the chopping block if the team's performance faltered. However, these claims lacked any substantial basis and were quickly dismissed after Red Bull clinched victory, thanks in part to a phenomenal drive from Max Verstappen. This win only intensified the conversation about Horner's position, as new rumors linked him to a potential role at Alpine following the resignation of Ollie Oakes. The notion of Horner joining Alpine seemed plausible given his friendship with Flavio Briatore, a key figure in the team's hierarchy. Additionally, the prospect of helping restore Alpine's competitiveness with a new Mercedes engine in 2026 added fuel to the fire. Moreover, some speculated that an ownership stake at Alpine might lure him away, something currently unattainable at Red Bull. Not to be outdone, there were also whispers about Horner switching to Ferrari, especially as Fred Vasseur's position at the Scuderia appeared to come under threat amid a challenging season. Seeking clarity, Sky F1 pressed Horner about these rumors after a practice session in Montreal. His response was unequivocal, stating, "There are so many rumors, I'm not going anywhere." He reinforced his commitment to Red Bull, highlighting the exciting developments on the horizon, including the launch of their own engine project for 2026. Horner acknowledged the flattery of being linked with esteemed teams like Ferrari, but he firmly stated, "I'm fully committed to Red Bull." He illustrated his connection to the team that he's been a part of for over 2 decades, declaring, "I don't have any intention of being anywhere else." With Horner's steadfast dedication and the team's bright future ahead, it's clear that he sees Red Bull as the place where he belongs, despite the swirling speculation around him. The paddock might be rife with rumors, but for Christian Horner, the future is decidedly at Red Bull, where he plans to continue contributing to the team's success. Christian Horner's commitment to Red Bull Racing runs deep. He describes how his heart and soul are intertwined with the team he's nurtured for so many years. In interviews, he reflects on the emotional investment he's made, emphasizing the importance of the people behind the success. He says, "My heart and soul are in this team. I've invested a big part of my life in it." This sentiment underscores his dedication not just to the cars on the track, but to the approximately 2,000 people who make up the Red Bull family. Horner is particularly excited about future developments, such as the ambitious project of creating their own engine, which he sees as a significant challenge and opportunity for growth. As Horner looks ahead, he acknowledges the vital role of relationships in the team's success. "The people are what makes a team," he shares. This extends beyond just the immediate workforce. It includes sponsors and partners as well. Horner has played a vital role in cultivating relationships with 58 partners who support Red Bull, feeling a profound sense of responsibility towards them. While discussing current standings, Horner noted that Red Bull has faced some setbacks. While the team slipped to 4th in the Constructors' Championship, he maintains a strong resolve. He's candid about the challenges they face, but also emphasizes a never-give-up attitude, key for anyone involved in the high-stakes world of Formula One. In conversations about driver lineups, especially regarding Yuki Tsunoda, Horner chooses his words carefully. He evades guarantees about Tsunoda's future, understanding the delicate dynamics at play and navigating the complexities of contracts and performances. Beyond this, Horner recently responded to controversial comments made about Max Verstappen, labeling criticism from former driver Ralf Schumacher as the biggest nonsense possible. This reaction reflects Horner's protective stance over his driver and the team's reputation. As we move forward in the racing calendar, Red Bull's journey is far from over. Their ability to rally and respond to challenges will define their legacy in the sport. Horner's vision, passion, and loyalty to Red Bull lay the groundwork for what promises to be an exciting journey ahead, both for him and the team.